How important is life insurance? Is it worth it? Do you really need it? What is it to you? Life insurance is something we know we should have, but the importance and the benefits of life insurance are not clear to many people. In this video, I will explain why life insurance is important, why and when it should be a priority, and its primary benefits. Hi everyone, this is Brian Villarosa. I am a licensed financial advisor under the Insurance Commission of the Philippines. My licensing date is March 16, 2016. My website is cashflow.ph. We can find there my solutions, my blogs, and other tips that I would like to share. And the sources of this presentation are found in this slide. So let's go to the importance of life insurance. How does life insurance system help people or the country in general? So number one, life insurance is important for critical years of our citizens. This is the period of the life where children are still of young age and cannot provide for themselves. So usually this is from the age of birth until the time that children can now employ themselves or find the means to support themselves. Critical years are also the time when you have dependents such as, for example, parents, old parents, or loved ones that don't have a means to financially aid themselves when you die unexpectedly. So those are the critical years. Number two is community relief and mindset development. It contributes to the welfare and progress of the country by partially relieving the community of the care of dependents, encouraging provision for the future. That's why this is a concept of community sharing. You relieve people who just lost their breadwinner by your contributions, and you also, when that time comes, you will also be relieved by those before you or ahead of you. And then develops a forward-looking mindset. This is somehow delayed gratification, looking forward for the rainy days while it is sunny days. So this is also the Proverbs mindset where look to the ant, thou sluggard. Remember its ways. So when there is a sunny day or when you are still healthy, your body is still not weak, you're still young. Instead of just YOLO or just spending 100% of your time spending, you set aside a portion of it not just to enjoy it, but you also have to think about the future. And this is what simply life insurance is about. This is about mindset development, attitude, character, values, and overall developing quality citizenry, quality people that will raise up the next generations to come. And it accumulates capital through investment in commerce and industry. Well, I might explain later about VUL or some savings with savings component. Partial or portion of the contributions in life insurance with investments, for example, will be invested in our domestic companies, and some might be invested in global companies depending on the fund vehicle. And then it somehow helps our economy recover, grow through time, and give jobs and win more investors, and at the same time economically supporting establishing a robust financial system of our country. Next is collateral or access to capital. It is a collateral for borrowers so that they can access capital. So for example, before a person can loan for her or his house, he must first present not just a collateral but also a life insurance policy, so that the bank will be assured that in case death happens or when uncertainties come, then that person cannot be insolvent and cannot pay the loan. So the life insurance itself is a layer of protection and gives confidence to the banks so that they can lend money to that person. Next is business continuity. This is a new concept somehow compared to others, because here life insurance can be used to ensure continuity of business. How? The simplified concept is this: if the business owner doesn't have heirs that have the skills or interest to run the business, then he can use life insurance to ensure continuity. So when he dies, when the business owner dies, the business does not die, because of life insurance. How? The most trusted person in the company, maybe the manager or the director, will sign up for a life insurance policy, and maybe he will be the one to pay it from his salary, the premiums, so that when the business owner dies, the death benefits will be paid to the heirs of the business owner, in exchange of the signature that the business will go to that manager. So that entails using an attorney, an agreement, or a contract, which you can further talk with your attorney if you are interested with this thing. So again, it ensures business continuity. So let's go to the benefits. How guaranteed death benefits can help you. So I will share around 5 ways. So number 1, it can be used as a cleanup fund. When a person dies, there may be payments to be settled, such as hospital bills, death care, burial, car loans, housing or condo mortgages, and estate taxes. We all know that at some point of our lives, we will acquire loans, and we also don't know. We don't know the time of our death. Life is like a vapor, okay, and then it can vanish right away. It is appointed unto man once to die, but we just don't know when. So instead of burdening the family, instead of giving them financial problems on top of your loss, your person's loss, then life insurance can somehow relieve that burden and pay for the bills, death care, burial. So now I'll give an example problem or situation. Case number 1. Pablo signed up for a traditional life insurance at age 30 with a death benefit of 1.5 million. So he got married at age 33 and kept renewing his life insurance policy until he was diagnosed of cancer, and he was diagnosed of cancer at age 56. Pablo spent weeks at the hospital for 6 months. His family incurred a debt of 500,000. By the way, he spent 6 months, just 6 months, not weeks, okay? His family incurred a debt of 500,000 from their aunt in the US for the hospital bills. And Pablo died at the 7th month. So this is just an hypothetical scenario. The family borrowed money to pay the hospital bills. How will his life insurance policy help him? So, answer, if the policy is in force, the guaranteed death benefit of 1.5 million could help his family clean up obligations. So here it can pay the 500,000 debt from their aunt in the US, pay for the death care and burial expenses of Pablo, and pay estate taxes for the transfer of his assets to his wife or children, as the case may be. If Pablo's children are still in school, the remaining balance may be used to sustain their education until they become employable and able to find a job. So as you see, these are the cleanup funds, most likely or especially in the hospital bills, death care, until Pablo will be laid the ground, get a decent burial, legacy until his body's last moment here on earth. So that's cleanup fund. Next is cushion fund. Cushion fund, it cushions the family sustenance when the breadwinner dies. It will be used by the surviving spouse to raise up the small ones until he or she is able to find stability. It can also be used to hire a helper, acquire services, or transfer residence. So cushion, from the word itself, instead of having the impact to be so destructive, then cushion, it will cushion the destruction or the impact towards the family. There are families I've heard who got separated, they broke up, children did not finish school just because of financial nature that could have been addressed by life insurance. So let's go to a sample case. Moses and Zipporah were high school sweethearts for 10 years. They were both engineers. After getting a stable job, Moses signed up for a death benefit of 2 million pesos and an additional 500,000 pesos accidental death benefit. Then he married Zipporah. They were blessed with 2 children, Paul and Silas. Moses and Zipporah agreed that the latter will become a stay-at-home mom to take care of their children. When the children are at the age of 6 and 5 respectively, Moses died in car accident. How will life insurance help the family? Okay, the answer is a total of 2.5 will go to his wife. So how much? Is it 2 million or 500 or 2.5? So it's 2.5. Why? Because the cause of death is accident, not natural death. So the accidental benefit of 500,000 will be added on top of 2 million if this is a traditional life insurance. The primary use of that money is to cushion the financial burden of Zipporah while she raises the children. Why? Because in the given problem, Zipporah decided to become a stay-at-home mom. The couple decided. So a caution for her is that instead of being pressured to sustain the children, 5 and 6 years old, then that will give her enough time to support them so that they can find a job or hire a helper while she is working for the next few years of their family and until Zipporah can find a full-time job. It can also be used by Zipporah to pay for a relative or nanny, okay, to take care of the children while she will work in the daytime. So that's the example of cushion fund. Next is educational fund. Educational fund pays for the tuition of the child or children. When the breadwinner dies, the surviving spouse is left alone to raise money for the education and care of the child. Educational fund is very crucial before a child graduates from grade 12 or college because it is only when they can become employable. So I would always tell my client that your goal is not just to supply your family throughout their lifetime, no, because there will come a time that they can find a job of their own. You just have to compute from the estimated years that your child will be needing your support, okay, and that's the computation of their the basic life insurance that they would need in case you die. So because the point here is education, because if they don't have financial support until they graduate from college, they will be forced to stop schooling and find a job that may not ensure them of a income or good salary because they need the schooling or the degree. The goal is really for your child to finish schooling or college, and that's where life insurance can step in. I have seminar trainers who shared their testimony that their family's children were not able to finish their schooling because their father died when they were still children, and some of them stopped and just got married and no longer was able to get a better career because of that situation. So when you don't want that to happen to your children, then educational fund via life insurance will make it easy for you because you don't have to acquire all those money to, like, let's say 2M or 1M just to supply their education. Life insurance can be there at a smaller amount or premium. Next is mortgage redemption. Life insurance pays for the housing loan and ensures shelter for your children. Without life insurance, the surviving spouse may have no means to pay the monthly amortization in the bank or in the pag-ibig, and the family will be in danger of losing a home and stability in life. So in this case, when you get a house, many people will not really pay cash in whole. Some of them will resort to pag-ibig or bank loan. So when you don't have a life insurance or mortgage redemption insurance, then when a person dies, and especially the dependents don't have a job, then the house might be lost because of non-payment. It will go to default, and where will your family stay, right? So they will lose shelter, they will lose stability, they may be forced to live with someone else or to rent in places that are lower in quality, and that will really compromise them. Number 5, and the last, it's emergency funds. Life insurance benefits are not just enjoyed at the time of death. People say that it's people that I will leave that will enjoy. Yes, that's true, but if your life insurance has a savings component or an investment component and other add-ons or riders, which I will discuss in the next videos, then you will also enjoy that as yourself, being the insured. There are life insurance policies, as I've said, with savings component, investment components such as VUL, and these can be used for emergencies by the insured or the owner while alive. So these are also called living benefits. And on top of that, there are cancer benefits, critical illness, hospitalization benefits, female critical illness benefits, and so on and so forth. So, just to recap, the importance of life insurance. Number one, for critical years. Number two, community relief and mindset development. Number three, collateral assurance for creditors and lenders. Number four, business continuity. Next, the uses of guaranteed death benefit of a life insurance. It can be used, number one, for cleanup fund. Number two, for caution fund. Number three, for educational fund. Number four, mortgage redemption or paying the housing or the pag-ibig loan or the bank loan. And number five, emergency fund for future needs. That's it. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more tips on savings, earnings, protection, and investments. This is Brian, by the way. God bless. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.